Hello, today at the Stade Municipal Benjaville, where the Black Stars have chosen as their official training center for the African Cup of Nations here in Abidjan, Coach Chris Hilton and his technical team, together with the players, assembled for their final training session ahead of the game against the Pharaohs of Egypt. Remember, the two teams have not won a game at this tournament, and Egypt looks much more wounded. It is against this background that Coach Rui Vitória, the Egyptian national team coach, describes this game as the final before the final. He thinks that there are 11 trophies between these two teams, and it emphasizes their clout and importance, and of course their prominence in this competition. And he thinks that Ghana has got some of the finest talents in this competition, and the quality is something that he really appreciates. But the Black Stars also came in training intensively for the game tomorrow against Egypt, and very fortunate that there are players who too picked up some knocks in the first game against Cape Verde, where the Black Stars lost by 1-2, but all of them have recovered. The entire group of players, Black Star players, all of them trained actively today, with every player looking very fit and healthy. So you can say that there is a clean bill of health for the Black Stars, as no member of the team sat out the training or trained separately from the others. So all of them are fit for the game. And we can also confirm that Mohamed Kudus, who has been out of the team, or who was the only person to join the team at a very late date because of the injury he picked up in the game against Arsenal, as confirmed, has now joined the team. So Mohamed Kudus joined the team actively and fully today, training for the match against Egypt. Coach Chris Hilton had mentioned earlier in the press conference today that Mohamed Kudus, despite having joined full training, will still be assessed today until tomorrow morning to decide whether the player will play or not. But we can confirm that from our close sources in the team, Mohamed Kudus has been passed medically fit by the medics of the team, and it will be on the coach to decide whether to play him tomorrow or not. So that will be a tactical decision. But in terms of fitness, the medical team have passed Mohamed Kudus fit to feature in the game against Egypt. So you can see the Black Stars training at the Stade Municipal Benjaville in front of journalists. We had some 15 minutes, and today was quite closer to the players and the training. You could feel them, and there was some, fraternization between the players and the journalists. There you could see Mohamed Kudus winking to the journalists, signaling his readiness to play in the game, whatsoever that means. So Mohamed Kudus has recovered. The entire team trained today, and that means good news for the Black Stars going into the game against Egypt. But then there are other issues as well, as Chris Hilton also commented on the goalkeeping issue with the Black Stars. There was a question regarding goalkeeper Richard Ofori's alertness and agility in post. There was a question that said that goalkeeper Richard Ofori has not kept the post this year for his club in South Africa, but Coach Chris Hilton has kept faith in him and invited him and gone further to start him in games. But Coach Chris Hilton has also gone on to say that Richard Ofori was a goalkeeper who saved Ghana in the first game against Cape Verde. He says his two saves in the dying minutes of the game was very crucial. So he doesn't see Richard Ofori being that not fit enough to be in the post, or lacking mad fitness. So it looks like Richard Ofori will still be in the post for Ghana against Egypt. And at right back, so I'm just going through the likely lineup that I will, as a coach, if I were the coach of the Black Stars, will likely pick for tomorrow by observing today's training. So in post, as the coach had confirmed, Richard Ofori will maintain his position. At right back, it looks like Odoi Dennis, the prof, was quite slow in the game. The African game is so intense, and you need some form of rigor to be able to deal with the brutality and aggressiveness of attackers. Goalkeeper Richard Ofori was up to hit, but at right back, it didn't look too good for Prof. Odoi. And I will love to see Ali Duseidu at right back. We saw him at the World Cup, very brutal and aggressive, very robust. As to defending, it is the attacking sense that somehow lacks in terms of creativity. But Ali Duseidu, to me, against Egypt, who are very sharp, especially effective on the wings, I will start Ali Duseidu on the right back. At left back, I will go with Gideon Mensah and make sure that he is able to deal with Mo Salah on the left. If Gideon Mensah is not starting, I would love to play Salisu Mohammed at left back instead of the centre back in order to deal with Salah. But Salisu Mohammed was quite slow and looked like he lacked match fitness. He's been out of football for some time, just returned before the AFCON. So it was quite observing on his total play in the game against Cape Verde. So I would love to play him at left back so that he keeps a constant check on Mo Salah. But Gideon Mensah will be my preferred choice at left back. In centre back or at centre back position, I would love to go with Daniel Amate and Alexander Djiku. These were the two players or the pair that held out Victor Osimhen and the sharp Nigerian attack from getting a goal, an open play goal in the game Ghana qualified in Abuja. I think they have come of age, and Daniel Amate is the very solid centre back with experience, and this is what you require in a game of this nature. So I'll go with Daniel Amate. Daniel Djiku needs no introduction after the game. That was a very massive performance against Cape Verde, earning him the Man of the Match award that day. So I will go with Amate and Djiku in centre back. In midfield, instead of Baba Idrisu, I would prefer Salis Abdul Samad to provide a shield and then work overtime in front of the back four. Work overtime because you are playing against Egypt. Likes of Mamouche and the other players in there are very sharp, and with the lists of opportunities, you'll be laughing at the wrong side of your mouth. So Salis should provide the shield for the back four and try to break the opposition attack and initiate Ghana's own attack. That would be the main role for Salisu, not to go beyond the center circle, just stay online and protect the back four like he does for his club Learn when they were in the Champions League, and also his form last season. So instead of Baba Idrisu, I think he threw away too many balls in the first game. So Baba Idrisu will make way for me for Salis Abdul Samad. Then I will still start Majid Ashimeru. His creativity in the first half against Cape Verde was not too bad. He was making efforts to also strike at goal. One of them ended in the net, but unfortunately, VAR ruled it offside. But that was an effort, an opportunity, an offensive play that the Black Stars had lacked for a very long time. So I will still keep Majid Ashimeru in front of Salis Abdul Samad. And on the right, I will go in for John Pencil. Pencil to start it there because he started quite well in the game against Cape Verde. If he's still fit, Joseph Pencil will be my man for the right wing because of the pace to be able to deal with the Egyptian defenders and not allow them too much opportunity to surge forward for their counter-attack. So Joseph Pencil, but if Joseph Pencil has not fully recovered, I think Osman Bukari, his bursts of pace and the way he's very slippery will add more bite to the attack. So at the right wing, I'll go for him. At left wing, obviously Jordan Ayew will start in there, and I think he can provide some experience and also support in terms of defending. He did a very good work in terms of coming back to defense to support them when they lost the ball. So I'll go in for Jordan Ayew to start on there. But then in attack, I will also go in for Antoine Semenyo. started the game against Cape Verde. Didn't look too good, but I think his movement was okay. So Antoine Semenyo, I'll maintain him. But if Coach Chris Hilton believes that Inaki Williams has the experience and exposure to play in a high-profile game like this, I think that it's in order to start Inaki Williams, but I will still maintain Antoine Semenyo and then play Mohamed Kudus behind the attack. If Kudus is fully fit, I don't think that there is a reason to keep him on the bench. So this will be my starting 11. In post, Richard Ofori, right back, Ali Disedu, left back. I would either go for Gideon Mensah or Salisu. Then I'll go for centre back pair of Dada Lamate and Alexander Jiku. Then put Salisu in front of them, or Salis Abdul Samed going for right wing, Joseph Pinso, left wing, Jordan Ayew. Then I play Mohamed Kudus in the hole behind them so that he can also be creating more chances and getting offensive and shooting at El Shanawi, who I think is not too good with long balls and as well crosses flying in. So Mohamed Kudus there. Then I play Antoine Semenyo in front of him as an attacker. So this will be my starting 11, and I hope that Ghana comes out victorious. Like I said, we cannot afford to lose this game. And Ghana has been doing well in games like this against Cameroon, our second game in Egypt, when all hope was lost after playing a 2-2 draw with Benin. We played a goalless draw with Cameroon and nearly beat them, but for that crossbar hit from Kwabena Owusu. So I think that we can do it against Egypt when all odds are against the team. This is the time for them to prove. And also with Mohamed Kudus coming back, I think it offers Ghana a much more luxury in terms of selection and also being offensive. And he will be a player who can torment the Egyptian defense and especially draw some of their midfielders back to defend and also further creating opportunity and gaps and pathways in there for the other players. I think this will be my starting 11 if I were Coach Chris Hilton, and I think that this will do a bit more magic for the team. I love the way they trained today with so much enthusiasm, and how Jordan Ayew spoke about wanting to force something against Egypt. And I believe that if they all go into the game with a kind of vigor and determination that I've seen on their faces and spoke it at the press conference, I think Ghana will come out with a victory, or worse off, gets a respectable score against Egypt, because anything else will be a disaster, and nobody is prepared to welcome any disaster at this point of the competition. So that's my first 11 if I were in the shoes of Coach Chris Hilton and monitoring today's training session. I think these are who I will go for. I know you also have your options. Let's see what you think. The game is tomorrow at the Felix Ofemboanye, and this is to say that Ghana should be getting a point, or at least the 3 maximum points, so we can be rest assured that we're still in the competition and not bring back the ghosts of Garua or Boake disaster. Thank you.